It was a plot. It's a scheme. Something is happening according to Melody, Sheree, and Drew Sidora is denying everything. Okay, so we're about to get all the way up into the weeds. Y'all, it's Friday. Hey, it's Saturday, it's Sunday. Okay, so like this video if you like reality TV related content. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. As we dive on in, Sky Squad, we are back in the building. So this is a continuation from yesterday's story. If you happen to catch last night's live, we did talk about this in depth, carefully, okay? And so we're gonna actually see what else Melody has to say today about what is going on. And here is where she reveals the scheme, the plotterization of it all. All right, let's dive in. So, according to our friends, well, listen, actually, I saw this on her page because I wanted to see if there was any updates. But in order for me to show you guys an IG story, it would kind of move fast. But our friends over at OMFG Reality TV, they happen to post the screenshots. So we're gonna go through it here. So she says, almost every morning I get up and I take a bath. Like literally sit in the tub, sometimes at 4:30 a.m., just so I can beat the kiddos waking up. All right. I sit, I pray, I meditate. Now I will tell y'all that's a good time to do so before the world gets started. Go ahead and get your thoughts together. I keeps a little journal right here for myself, just so y'all know. I mean, it's writing is just therapeutic. I don't know if y'all do it, but anyway, it's not about me. The last 5 years, I've traveled more than ever, seen places I had only read about, had experiences that were amazing, and met some super amazing, genuine people. I be trying to tell y'all to travel, okay? Y'all need to get on these trips. Anyway, she says, moved on with my life. In real life, yes, but there's more. Mind the business that pays me. Take my babies on vacations all the time so they can experience a life outside of Huntsville. Yes, 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 y'all. Get outside of your city. Okay, explore some of this good world out here. Anyway, she then says, just literally living. But what do you do when you have a narcissist who won't let go? Happiness shows, and so does bitterness and anger. See, I will go to war for one thing only: my babies. Other than that, I don't bother anyone. Child support? Nah. Garnishment? Can you please get that removed? Because I know there's a house closing coming up and I don't want to add extra burden. So it sounds like what she's saying is she will try to make way or concessions. So no child support, no garnishments, no doing any of those because she doesn't want to interrupt anything that the other party has going on, who may also be the same person as the narcissist, who we could only assume, though she does not name, is perhaps her ex husband. Okay. Then she says this, but imagine the whole time you're fighting your legal counsel to help someone else out, they're behind your back plotting, lying, and scheming. And honestly, I think that's part of what hurts even more, but yet the spiritual warfare of it all shows up even more. My heart posture has never been one to wage war, never been one to make false accusations ever, but the trait to do so only resembles the demonic energy of it all. So, to those praying, thank you. To those who have chosen to stand in the gap, thank you. The evidence is so unbelievable. I will try to go live today on my Patreon, but as I told them, it depends on if I feel up to it. It's been call after call after call after call the last 7 days. Matter of fact, this time 7 days ago is when I learned of the scheme. Now, what is the scheme? I don't know. But what we do know is there is an alleged scheme. Okay? So, just to go through a couple of the comments, someone says, I feel like Martell and Ariane, I'm going to say allegedly, put together another scheme with false accusations against Melody regarding the kids, and it's something more heinous this time. Shaking my head. Another commenter says, I will go live on my Patreon. Quote, told me everything I needed to know. Y'all have a good day. Another says, I have a sister who is going through something similar. She tries to be considerate and conscious of what he has going on for him to take advantage of it. Another person says, I do not have free prayers available. No context, no prayers. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of responses on social media to what is happening here. And to be quite frank with you guys, I don't have all of the answers. I wish that I had more answers for you, but I don't. So until something is published, either she says something or he says something, we are left to wonder what is happening, right? So, with that being said, if anything happens to pop up, we'll definitely talk about it. Otherwise, I would say keep an eye out for her Patreon because it sounds like she could potentially maybe go live there and talk about what is happening. But until then, that's all we know. Okay. So, next, I want to get into the Drew. There's another scheme. The scheme, the plot. This one, sinister. The plot to take down and destroy K. Michelle and her very existence. Drew Sidora is denying each of those claims. Okay. She says at this point, shout out to our friends over at the Bravo Shade Room. This is from an interview clip from Housewives Reality Nightcap. Sorry about that. And, the interviewer just gets all the way into all the questions about Drew and K. Michelle and, who she might spend the block with. Hint, 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 hint. Michael B. Jordan. I saw that on the Neighborhood Talk. So there's a lot that's going on in this interview. So I will also see if I can post that in the description so you guys can watch the entire thing for yourself. Drew again denies all of this. She says she would not plot on someone else's marriage considering what is going on with her own. Okay. She says that K. Michelle is giving biggest fan and has talked about her friend Black more than her own husband. Drew hopes that at the reunion, K. Michelle will finally speak up and use her vernacular. Okay. So let's talk about a couple of things. This denial that Drew has issued is basically this. She says, I just wanted to come in and get to know the girls. We didn't really see a lot of her at the beginning of the season because she was out promoting, doing the press for her new movie Run. Now, with that being said, she does go on to explain that, her first interaction of sorts with K. Michelle, I'm assuming as per the show, was just at Portia's dinner. And in that scene, she was just kind of trying to figure out who the girls were. Now, in episode 1, when Drew is talking about K. Michelle in her confessional, she makes it seem like she doesn't know whether or not K. Michelle is still doing music. But in this interview, she's definitely aware of K. Michelle and her music, her country album, her decision to move in the country direction. And I feel like she does give K. Michelle her accolades. But she still is curious as to why or what this whole situation is all about. Now, you know what I was thinking about, y'all? I was really thinking about what happened last year with Drew Sidora and Portia Williams. And I just couldn't help but think back on here is yet another situation where Drew seems unaware of whatever the drama she's being accused of. I don't know if anybody has picked up on. I'm sure people have, but I'm just kind of thinking back on it like, Portia was really, really upset with Drew last year. And some of that I could definitely understand. Like, you would really want to know from your friend if they're going to be working with your baby daddy on a project just out of general, like, respect, right? But the way that Drew positioned their working together was way different from the way that Portia presented it. And then there was whether or not Drew was dating Dennis or rumors or what she might be doing for beats. Those were some of the allegations that were being hurled Drew's way. And she kind of basically was as now that I think back on it, kind of navigating it in a similar fashion as though like she really doesn't know what's going on. So either she's a very, 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 very good actress, or I genuinely am watching this and I kind of believe it. Like, I mean, there's only one way this could have gone. If we are to be believed, we would have to believe that the girls called around to find out, well, what would get at K. Michelle? What would cause her to explode? And who among us is going to pull the trigger? Who's going to do it? Is it going to be Drew putting black on the speakerphone for 3 hours at a dinner? Is that it? Is it going to be Drew on the plane saying, well, you're friends with black, you know? Was it that moment? Was that it? Was it the oysters? The stinky kitty of it all? Was that it? What was the moment? I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it. Y'all, I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know. Okay. So listen, we are back to square one. Drew don't know. The interviewer don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Who know? Only K. Michelle can tell us that. Okay. So we'll just have to wait and see what the tea actually is. Hopefully, by season's end, we will have some answers and resolution to some of these questions that we continue to have week after week after week. But until then, I will be signing off. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tune in next time for another edition of Reality TV Mysteries. I'm your host, Richie Skye, and I'll see you next time.